Hello everyone and welcome to today's morning report on Friday the 19th of February with me, Rich Perry, market analyst at Hantec Markets. European trading sessions got us a fairly mixed start, and I think this one is again running off this oil price. We've had yesterday the oil price rallying up to this big downtrend, the 3-month downtrend that's been in place since the beginning of November. And this rally that has sort of induced this recent equity market improvement in sentiment generally could well be just beginning to stutter. We had again more inventory build in the States yesterday, 2 million barrels for the EIA oil report, and that sort of took the shine off this little rally that we saw on oil. It's sort of fairly flat today. It's not really doing a great deal. Earlier it was just before markets opened, it was slightly lower, and that was inducing what looked to be a bit of an early correction in the equity markets. But once oil has just begun to just rally a little bit, equity market sentiment has improved slightly, but I still think it's a big driver of sentiment. And to be honest, across the forex markets, there is still a safe haven split, where the safe havens are sort of more in favour versus the commodity currencies, which are a little bit under pressure again today. And I'll show you that through my forex analysis in a bit. But what we are seeing certainly is this just risk appetite just rolling over a bit. The treasury markets, treasury yields are certainly sort of seeming to show that 10-year slightly lower, even though it's at the day high at the moment. But there is still a sense that that's sort of rolling over the top, and that's sort of reflective of this sort of just beginning to see more of a safe haven shift once again. What we've got to look forward to today? Well, we've got UK retail sales at 9:30. The expectation is for 3.6% improvement, actually, on 2.6% last month. On the annual data, so that's a much better number. And then the main event for this afternoon is the US inflation data, the CPI, which is announced at 1:30. And is expected to come in at 1.3%, so a continued improvement actually on that CPI data, although the Fed looks at the PCE data, which is far more in line with its views on inflation. So the CPI does get has an impact on markets, but perhaps less so due to the fact that this Fed looks at the PCE data instead. So that's this afternoon. But my chart of the day is Euro Sterling. Now, Euro Sterling has been on this big uptrend channel since December. Nice strong rally higher. Not perfect uptrend channel. I mean, you've sort of got to be a little bit just a little bit creative. Not creative, but it's not perfect in terms of the uptrend, but still. What we have seen is the market move higher and higher, higher lows, higher highs. The current consolidation is similar to this one we saw in January, where it sort of moved back towards the trend channel low and then moved higher again. Now we saw yesterday's move sort of lower back towards what it seems to be a bit of a support band now around 77 figure. Seems to be that is catching the lows now. So I'd say that dips towards that would probably be seen to be a buying opportunity. Look at the RSI as well. Seems to be every time it gets back towards 60, it's seen as a buying opportunity. So it's currently just below 60 now. So I'd say that you're now beginning to look for this little correction to being a buying opportunity. The 21-day moving average is pretty decent actually as a basis of support through the recent lows, and that again is coming in slightly underneath 77 figure. So I'd say that this is a move back towards 77 figure would be seen as a buying opportunity in this market. So that was the daily chart. Let's have a look at the hourly chart. Similar sort of outlook really, although we've got the just a slight near-term consolidation actually. The moving average is going sideways. The momentum indicators sort of more range-bound. RSI between 30 and 70, that is indicative of range-bound trading. But yeah, as I see this move below, sort of towards this sort of support around 77 figure, I would see that being a pivot level and a nice little buying opportunity. So you're looking out for sort of a move up, obviously above yesterday's high, 78.15 area, and then 78.45 being the previous day's high, which is Wednesday. And 78 figure 79 figure pretty much is the big overhead resistance on the 11th. So a few levels for you to work with there from the outside, and certainly if you move above yesterday's high, I think that's regaining the initiative. Just rolling over today, but I think that this would be a nice little buying opportunity. So I wish you good luck in your trading on Euro Sterling today, and I'll speak to you later. Thank you.